The Genius Club with Prairie Pine. Chapter 49. Hibernation Chamber. What method? Alex asked curiously. Violent destruction. The employee from the safe company explained to Alex. We had a customer in the same situation before. Their finance director got into a car accident, and the company urgently needed the official seal inside the safe. So they took the entire safe to a scrapyard and cut it open with an oxyacetylene cutting torch. This safe is made of solid steel stamping. Ordinary cutting machines or crowbars can't open it. Even explosives won't work. Only oxyacetylene cutting torch can cut it with high temperature. It's a last resort when there's no other way. A light bulb went off in Alex's head. What torch did you just say? An oxyacetylene cutting torch. It's a spray gun that burns high-pressure acetylene. It can form a jet flame with an ultra-high temperature of 3,000 degrees Celsius, then cut by melting steel. It's very commonly used in the industrial field. With that, the two employees picked up the form, asked Alex to sign it, left a manual of precautions and a contact number, then left. Oxyacetylene cutting torch. Alex memorized the name. The safe with his name on it in his dream. Many parts were already chipped and rusted, undoubtedly made of steel. In the face of an ultra-high temperature cutting torch at 3,000 degrees, it would definitely be as fragile as tofu. Alex had thought he would soon enter the dream to cut open the safe with his name on it. But things didn't go as he wished. He was really too busy these days. With the press conference approaching, the daily tasks were heavy. Alex worked overtime with his team members until midnight every day to get home. He didn't even have a chance to fall asleep. He hadn't had a dream in several days. It wasn't just him. Everyone in the company was full of energy. All departments were working overtime to catch up on progress. Staying up late or even pulling all-nighters was the norm. Even Emma, who was always elegant and refined, inevitably had faint, dark circles under her eyes. One afternoon, Alex had just finished one of his tasks when, ring, 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 his phone rang. Alex looked at the caller. Professor Hughes? They hadn't contacted each other in several days. Could there be any new news? Alex picked up the phone and answered it. Alex, do you have time now? On the other end of the line, Ethan's voice was extremely excited and thrilled. I want to invite you to witness a historic moment. Witness a historic moment? Could it be that Professor Hughes had completely overcome the difficulties of the hibernation chamber filling liquid? Alex checked the time. It was almost 2 o'clock in the afternoon. To be honest, he was really happy for Ethan, but he wasn't very interested in witnessing scientific research achievements. However, he couldn't refuse such a kind invitation. He didn't want to dampen Ethan's spirits. Sure, Professor. Please wait a moment. I'll head to East Sea University to see you right away. After hanging up the phone, Alex arranged his work for his subordinates, then went out and took a taxi to East Sea University. When he arrived at Ethan's laboratory, the latter excitedly pulled Alex to a sealed cabin. Look, the mouse inside. The entire system has been stabilized at a low temperature of 60 degrees Celsius for 40 hours. During these 40 hours, this mouse has been in a state of deep sleep. Don't be fooled by its immobility, lack of eating and excretion. Its vital signs are completely normal, very stable. Alex leaned close to the sealed cabin. The cabin wall was extremely cold, emitting a faint coolness. Alex deliberately stood back a little and stretched his head forward. He saw the sealed cabin filled with light blue liquid, and in the middle of the liquid, a mouse curled up, covered with various monitoring electrodes and catheters. The mouse was extremely quiet, almost indistinguishable from being dead. But after watching carefully for more than 10 seconds, he noticed that its abdomen occasionally had very slight fluctuations, indicating it was still alive. Ethan pointed to the monitoring screen next to them and explained the numbers on it to Alex. The normal heart rate of a mouse is generally around 500-700 beats per minute. That's why their lifespan is short, only 3 to 4 years. In the natural animal kingdom, the slower an animal's heart rate, the longer its lifespan. In contrast, the normal respiratory rate of a mouse is about 150 breaths per minute. But look now. Ethan pointed to 2 numbers on the monitoring screen. Monitoring heart rate, 21 beats per minute. Respiratory rate, 7 breaths per minute. See that, Alex? Both the heart rate and breathing have slowed down by 20 to 30 times. The efficiency of all its life activities has decreased by 20 to 30 times. You can simply think, inside this low-temperature sealed cabin, the aging rate of the mouse has slowed down by 20 to 30 times. Alex nodded. He could understand this concept. Hibernation in sci-fi movies meant that a person sleeps in a hibernation chamber, and hundreds or thousands of years pass. After waking up, they are as good as new. But sci-fi is ultimately sci-fi. Real scientific research has to proceed step by step. Ethan's sealed cabin was probably a simple, first-generation hibernation chamber, youth version, far from the concept of real hibernation, only able to reduce the efficiency of life activities by 20 to 30 times. If this set of equipment could operate stably, then 20 to 30 years passing in the outside world might only add 1 year to the mouse's actual lifespan. This would allow a mouse that could only live 3 to 4 years to successfully travel to the future world decades later. Of course, this was only a mouse experiment. When it is actually applied to humans, how long can it be maintained? How many times can it reduce life activities? These are still unknowns. The real difficulty of hibernation technology is not freezing, but thawing and awakening, Ethan patiently explained to Alex. Next is the real historic moment I invited you to witness. We are going to wake up this mouse that has been hibernating at an ultra-low temperature of 60 degrees Celsius for 40 hours. Alex didn't know much about it, so he just stood there and watched Ethan operate. Gradually, the temperature of the sealed cabin slowly rose. It took about half an hour to slowly rise to around 10 degrees Celsius. Then Ethan performed a series of complex operations. Squeak, squeak, squeak. The mouse in the sealed cabin became restless, rolling frantically in the sealed cabin filled with light blue liquid. Its nails kept scratching the cabin wall. Don't worry. This liquid has an extremely high oxygen solubility. After entering the lungs, it can perform normal gas exchange. Of course, there will definitely be strong discomfort. Ethan held his lungs and looked at Alex. It will definitely be very uncomfortable, but it can aid in ensure breathing. No danger of suffocation. But I haven't tried it myself. This is just a guess for now. Then, Ethan drained the liquid from the sealed cabin, took out the flailing mouse, and tore off all the electrode patches on its body. Squeak, 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 squeak. The mouse shook frantically, shaking off the liquid on its fur, then jumped up and broke free from Ethan's hand, scurrying around the laboratory like crazy. So full of energy, Alex exclaimed. It's hard to imagine it was in a state of suspended animation for 40 hours, and at an ultra-low temperature of 60 degrees Celsius. Technology is really amazing. If a person were placed at a low temperature of 60 degrees Celsius, they would probably die soon, frozen solid. Ethan smiled slightly. Although there are still many problems to solve in the future, the successful hibernation and awakening of this mouse means that this hibernation chamber-filling liquid is perfect. The related hibernation theories are also absolutely correct. It was obvious that Ethan was truly happy. There was finally hope for his vegetative daughter. Alex watched the scurrying mouse and asked curiously, "Professor, how many years do you estimate it will take until a truly meaningful hibernation chamber is successfully developed?"